Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat. You're watching iGyan, and Honor launched the View 10 on the 5th of December at a global event, and we went hands-on with the device. Today we're going to be unboxing and taking a first look at what all is inside the box and the phone itself in its retail format. So let's get started. Now, while the phone was launched at a global price of 499 euros, which is far more than what it's expected for in India, we're expecting the phone to launch for around 34 to 35,000 Indian rupees, maybe even less. Phone is expected to go on sale on the 5th of January, and you can stay tuned to iGyan for more updates on the same. Now, the box is pretty iconic with some of the previous Honor devices that we've seen, so let's quickly go ahead and take away the cover. The first thing inside the box is the phone itself. Now, we've got this in the blue color. It's called the Aurora Blue. And I'm going to place it to the side for the time being. If I go further inside our box, you can also see that there is a case. Now, this case is a see-through TPU style case, so it's a flexible case. It's a good addition inside the box because accessories for certain devices are not easily available, and an included case is always a good thing. You also get a SIM ejector tool. In the final retail box, I'm expecting some documentation and some warranty information, etc. We haven't got that. If I go further in, you can also see that there is a charger inside the box. Now, it does have a 9-volt 2-amp, which means that it is an 18-watt charger, and you also get a standard USB to USB Type-C cable, and that basically completes everything that's in the box of the View 10. It's time to take a look at the device itself. So over at the front, you do get a 5.99-inch IPS LCD display. Now, this is a 2160 by 1080 pixel display. It is an 18:9 display, so you can see that it reaches more or less completely edge to edge, and there is a forehead and a chin, and the bezels on the side are almost negligible. It is a 403 pixel per inch pixel display. What's interesting is that on the top, you do have a front-facing camera, which is a 13 megapixel f2 camera, and it can capture 1080p video. This device will also support face unlock, thanks to the neural processing engine that's inside the new Kirin 970. Up top, you can also see the earpiece. And at the bottom of the display is the main fingerprint sensor, which can also be used as a multi-navigation button. We'll demonstrate that in just a bit. At the bottom of the device is the 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, despite being a 7mm phone, companies managed to retain the 3.5mm headphone jack, and that is a good thing. You also have the USB Type-C connector along with the microphone and the speakerphone. Over to the right, you get the power button, which is textured, and you also get the volume button. And on the top, you do get an infrared blaster along with a secondary noise cancellation microphone. Over at the left, you do have a SIM tray. Now, if I pop this tray out, it is a hybrid tray. So you can pop in a micro SD card up to 256 gigabyte, and you can pop in a SIM card, or you can pop in 2 SIM cards. At the back is where the magic is. You can see the antenna lines are now flexed all the way to the top and bottom. So you more or less see a flat flush back panel, except for the 2 camera bumps that we mentioned during the launch itself. One, the primary camera is a 16 megapixel RGB camera, whereas the secondary is a 20 megapixel monochrome camera, and it does have an f1.8 aperture. Primary camera can capture 4K video. And what's inside this device is really interesting because you get the new HiSilicon Kirin 970 chipset. It is an octa-core chipset with 4 cores running at 2.4 gigahertz and 4 cores running at a stable 1.8 gigahertz. You also get the Mali G72 MP12 GPU. The new CPU also has the neural processing engine. It allows the device to utilize a lot of AI features, which will be available after a software update early January, according to the company. Now, the device is running Android 8 out of the box along with EMUI 8 or Emotion UI 8, which is the latest from Huawei and Honor. The device is more or less stock with not a lot of bloatware. In fact, when you boot up the device, it asks you if you want to install recommended applications, which is basically a code word for bloatware. You can simply ignore that, and then you get a device without any bloatware. There are some games that the company has installed in partnership with Gameloft that come pre-installed on the device. You can uninstall them to make space if you don't use them. Honor also has a whole bunch of tools like a flashlight, a mirror, and also a remote control app that allows you to control things around your house like a television, air conditioner, even a set-top box from the device itself. So this can be sort of like a universal remote for your things inside your house. You also have other new features, which includes the Honor community or the Honor Club access. This basically opens a browser that takes you to the forums. And you also have a health app and some other apps that are preloaded, but more or less stock applications. nothing that cannot be removed and nothing that is over the top in terms of advertisement is preloaded on this device. If you swipe left from the home screen, you do get the Google app, and you can swipe up to get the Google Assistant as well. Once you do remove the buttons from the screen and change to one button sort of navigation using the fingerprint sensor, if you tap, it goes back. If you long press, it mimics the home button. If you swipe from the right to the left, it opens the multitasking. And if you swipe from the bottom right up, it brings out the Google Assistant, which is really handy. And once you get used to it, it'll mostly be gesture based and you won't require the on-screen buttons. There's also the ability to enable full screen for apps that don't support it. That is by default in the settings application. And then you also have the ability to twin applications, which means that apps that require dual logins, or so if you have dual Facebook accounts or dual WhatsApp accounts for two SIM cards that are in your device, you can enable a second installation of WhatsApp to be able to utilize WhatsApp on both those SIM cards. If you talk about the camera is pretty standard from an Honor perspective. You do have a whole bunch of shooting modes, including a photo mode, a pro photo mode, a video mode, and a pro video mode, along with some additional modes like an AR lens, a 3D panorama, monochrome, artist mode, and some filters that you can apply. The front camera also has beauty modes and a portrait feature, which at this moment doesn't seem to be very refined. It does get a lot of blur on the face as well. Hopefully they can fix it with their software update, but for now it seems to be rather gimmicky on the front facing camera. I would also recommend turning the beauty mode off, although a lot of people like keeping this on. I personally find that images look sharper without this turned on. Now, from a RAM and storage perspective, the device has 6GB of RAM and 128GB of onboard storage, along with a 3750 mAh battery, which is fairly large for the slimness and the kind of device this is. It's not very heavy as well at 172 grams. For the size, it's got a nice form factor. It feels great in the hand. It's got a rounded back panel that fits in your hand nicely. If you do have smaller hands, you'll want to use this device with both your hands because reaching certain corners of the device is rather difficult, but you do have one-handed use in case you want to enable that. Now, for those looking for several other details, leave your questions, queries, and everything else in the description below. We'll be out with a full review of the Honor View 10 soon enough, and those should answer most of your queries. If you like this video, guys, do let us know in the comment section below and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a part of Team iGyan. This has been Bharat. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.